Hello. In this video, I will read my answers to Sandra Graves Questions for June 2013. She agreed to be my coach, and here are my answers. 1. I love to talk and learn. 2. I don't like working because some bosses would not pay me and I would get relocated when I would report that supervisor would arrive late or that the valets were drinking on New Year's Day. It bothers me that there was no camera and I had no cash to buy a camera to secretly record them. 3. I am most afraid of the spouse and the mother throwing me into the hospital jail again because I won't be able to spend my time with my son. They Baker acted me twice this year for Christmas and Valentine's Day. It was February 13th. And on the February 13th, they lied about me. They went to the courthouse and filled out an ex parte paper. The mother knows what to write. The spouse doesn't speak enough English to write it or what to say on the paper. So the mother wrote it, the spouse signed it, and I got taken away. They were lies, that I hear things, that I see things, and so on. They did this because I was homeschooling my son with permission from the spouse, but then the mother kept on telling the spouse that I had already been Baker acted for Christmas and therefore I would not be, that DCF was going to take the children away from her because she was letting a crazy man teach homeschool her children. So the spouse got scared, and so she went to fill out this paper and I got taken away. Then the spouse was nice to me, but I believe it's because her conscience got to I believe she never read the paper, the spouse, because she says that no, she didn't say that, or that. So anyway, however, I don't live in fear. They do it, they do it. You know, how many times am I supposed to forgive my brother? 77 times 7 is what Jesus said. Now I gotta figure out how to avoid getting Baker acted and getting my desires at the same time, because today, for instance, she left the boy. He didn't want to go with her, and then he was just watching and watching more and more Netflix, I think it was. So I went in there and I did my usual thing. I took the keyboard away and I told him to turn off the computer. He did. He went into his room. Then when I was walking out the door, he saw me with the keyboard in my hand, and then he said, "You said I could do anything I wanted when you were not here." And I said, "Yeah, pretty much. However, I do love you and I want to spend some time with you. And in the future, I might even give advice to young men to have 100 kids, because this way one of them will want to spend time with their dad." I didn't have a dad, and I tell my son, "You are privileged to have a dad, and one that cares about you, wants to play with you and so on, wants to talk with you. Just like some dads go fishing with their children. I want to do those activities also." Alright, so my first answer, I love to talk and learn. 2, I don't like working because. 3, I am most afraid of the spouse and the mother, but I don't live in fear. I am concerned is the question probably was to use the word afraid, but I'm concerned on how to avoid that. So I put the keyboard back, and my son decided to go with me after hearing me talk about. I told him I feel, in other words, I told him that I feel jealous that he wants to watch yet another 45 minutes of another movie, or whatever amount of time, and instead of being with me, because I haven't spent any time with him today. So I went to the park, and he trained me. I told him, you are my coach. Maybe you don't need to spar with me as much. However, you are my coach. Then he noticed I was using new techniques. What's happening is I'm getting faster and stronger. Alright, number 4. If this was my last year to live, I would do exactly what I'm doing now. I would read with my son and make videos so that he can see them on YouTube when I'm dead. I would make one video for the spouse telling her that I forgive her and that I love her. Should I make another video, or is this enough? I think this is enough. I would make one video for my daughter telling her that I do forgive her for not wanting to spend time with me and that I do love her. Alright, I better make those 2 videos. Alright, 5. My life would be better if the spouse would let me take the internet away from the kids when they are disrespectful. Spend 1 hour with me every day, not when her eyes are closing on her, so she's exhausted, alright? And she would let me make the composting toilets. One for the dog in the backyard and one for me in the garage. Now, I did do the one for the dog in the backyard, but she took it out. Plus, I have other projects that would help all of us if only she would let me. So she doesn't let me, so I gotta move out of the house. However, she won't let me take the son, and the son knows that I apply discipline. I tell him, to whom much is given, much is expected. So he knows if he wants to slack off and do whatever he wants to do, he's gotta be in that side of the house and watch hours and hours of internet, which I don't approve of. But the spouse sees nothing wrong with watching hours and hours of internet. I mean, the reason I do so many hours on the internet is because I don't have other children or other people to play with and teach, or learn from. Once I get more cash, I'll be able to spend more time. I'll go find some children in Honduras and I'll just teach them carpentry and Tai Chi Chuan and English and computer skills and so on. And intelligence skills like the word never and always. Sometimes if they're in a test, then you gotta watch out, because those 2 are giveaways that the answer is not that sentence that has the word never in it, in multiple choice in the United States. Alright, these are the answers. Thank you. Be better than I am. Have a beautiful life. Enjoy your life.